Hey everybody, this is Gaynor Meilke from the Conscious Success Plan, and today I wanted to talk about um, people probably hate this title, disappointing dudes. So I was listening to the Lewis House School of Greatness podcast. He had on Scott Galloway, who wrote the book Notes to a Man, and I thought it was a great interview. And the title of that podcast was Why 63% of Young Men Have Given Up. And that's given up kind of on economic prosperity and relationships. And I thought it was a really insightful interview about the challenges that young men are facing. And part of that wall, so to speak, that they're facing is kind of a debt to society that their elders have created due to their entitlement. So the older male entitlement, economically, romantically, all of those things has set up young men to sort of have a disadvantage in society because now people are trying to balance things out with more diversity and um, feminism and things like that. But I would also argue that while there's all of these inequalities for men and women and different races, that at the end of the day, it's just really disappointing human behavior and human motives that have driven us into all of these kind of corners, our respective corners, and making it a very divisive society and culture. So I just know from my experience with men, both in the workplace and then also in my personal life, that there's a lot of really disappointing behavior that's happening. And I see a little bit of a brighter note for young men. And I think they're learning that women are more just as equal as they are, which is kind of sad that we have to still be at this point. But one of the big takeaways of the interview that Lewis Howes did with Scott Galloway was that when you realize that women can fend for themselves financially, they don't really need men to protect them like they used to. And so if men aren't even doing that, the only thing that's really left to sustain a relationship that can be additive to a woman's life, and this, goes the other way as well, but I'm just speaking about disappointments in terms of what men are putting out into the world, is that if you don't show respect and kindness and be a good person to the person that you're with, like there's not really anything else that a woman is looking for if she's, able to create her own life and economically fend for herself. So that I think is something really important. I've done some other videos on abusive relationships and the power and control paradigms there. And I think that Brene Brown has done some really good research around power dynamics, and that all plays into males and not showing kindness and respect. So I think that it's really kind of shocking to me at times, and also just it can be kind of devastating that men still think that it's okay to treat a woman that they're with badly in order to get the upper hand. And I'm hopeful that as more and more women own their own power, men are going to realize that they can't get away with this. But I think it's really disturbing. And I hope that if you're in a situation where you're being devalued by a male, whether that's in the workplace or at home or in a dating situation, that um, you make sure to raise that issue and that it's really and make it clear that it's really one of being a better human as opposed to thinking about it from a gender relationship basis. So that's all I wanted to say about disappointing dudes. I've certainly had my fair share of those show up, as I know many other people have, and we could talk about women as well. Um, but just some food for thought, and you can check out that podcast at School of Greatness with Lewis Howes and Scott Galloway, and the book was Notes for a Man.